You're my roller coaster, girl. You're my chicken sandwich, baby. You're my Cincinnati. You're everything I need to get up and dance. To get up and dance. Dance. You coming at me like a wild rally cat. My head's buzzing so I ain't even feel that. The neon lights have gone straight to my head. You asked me to repeat myself, but you already know what I said. Take a step back, you cool alligator. I tried to be friends, but you snuffed me at the cradle. Punch a sock and lock it, you don't own the table. You're about to learn first what they told you in my favor. Does the sky ever answer? Or are we just lost in the race? Or are we chasing those flickers in cold outer space? Stars at your borderline. My head swimming from these crushed up sevens. 2 more drinks and I'll feel like heaven. All this talking that started my engines revving. I hope God doesn't keep tabs after 11. Take a step back, you ain't no James Taylor. You act like everyone on the block needs to pay it. Put a socket and lock it, you don't belong at my table. You're about to learn first what they told you in my fable. Does the sky ever answer? Or are we just lost in the race? Or are we chasing those flickers in cold outer space? Stars at your borderline. trouble starts at your borderline.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want you to join us in welcoming the world's greatest DJ.
His name is Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ooh yeah, we partying with ghosts, 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 ghosts. Till Mix. Partying with ghosts, ghosts. We're partying with ghosts, ghosts. His name is Till Mix. Ghosts, ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts. We're partying with ghosts, ghosts. They're the sexiest. Ghosts, ghosts. No gay demon masks, just ghosts, ghosts.
All right, people, here we go. Turn down the music. Let's go. I always have to remember to turn down the music. Turn it down. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great day today. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Hope you're kicking some ass today. Hope you're out there. I know the storms are coming. Wherever you're at, the storms are coming. James, how's the weather out where you're at? You're all the way across the pond, all the way in England. Is it warm? Is it cold? What's going on? Is it raining? Is it snowing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Well, what can I say? I could lie and say the weather's great, but it is kicking up a storm as per usual. We got the rain, we got the wind, And really annoyingly, you know that England cap I've got, like my
Yeah, yeah.
favourite cap. I had that on today when I was doing a video, right? And it blew it clean off my head, and it's landed right in a puddle of mud, right? And like I tried to get the vanish on it, but like you know what it's like with stuff that's white.
Oh, you
Once you get
can't.
mud on it,
It's
fucked.
over. It's over.
And like I went straight on the Sports Direct website to see if they got the cap. It's the one that Kerry likes.
Yeah.
It's like no, out of stock. They haven't got it. So like my favorite baseball cap. So I don't really wear baseball caps, but my favorite baseball cap is now bit the dust. I think because it's just caked in mud.
That's terrible.
It says you
bro.
can't put it in a washing machine. I was like going to shove it in the washing machine, but it's like no go, won't go in.
It's terrible, man. Once you get a white anything with mud on it, you're pretty much cooked, bro. You're cooked. Let me jump in the chat real quick. Say shout out to everybody. We got Pat out in the chat. How you doing, Pat? Seashell SoCal. We got Max Clamor out there. 07 to you, Max Clamor. Carrie C. She says, "Yay, boys, 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 boys." Happy Saturday to everybody. We got James Grabbing in the chat saying, "Bruv." He's on stream with us right here. We got On the John. Shout out to you out there on the John, wherever you're at. We got DJ.
My nemesis On the John. That's my nemesis right there.
Well,
he was getting a bit lippy, right? In Mersh's chat yesterday, he was going, "I hear you said stuff about me and my boys," and I was like, "Nah, that's all hearsay." Wink, wink.
Wink,
all
wink.
Hearsay. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's right. That's right. Then
I was like, you didn't show the ultimate male the proper respect. Like, imagine me, right? So I go in and I grace the Ministry of Dude with my presence, right?
Yeah.
And when I go there, the call factor goes up by a factor of 100, 1,000, 1,000,000. No, I'm instantly the coolest person in the chat, and it was like they acknowledged everyone, including my other nemesis, Warfist. And it was like I was invisible. I was like, shit, have I been blocked? Have I been banned or something? Because like I'm saying all this cool, funny shit, and everyone's ignoring it, and I'm like, that's not the way you treat a friend. That's not the way you treat a pal, is it?
Well, you got
you
got some beef with On the John a little bit. I did throw him the link in case he wants to come on here and defend his honor. So shout out to On the John. We got Miami.
I heard in his neck of the woods, like Justin Trudeau. Did you see someone put a tweet out saying that Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry were pregnant?
I saw that. That is so wild, bro. Yeah, we're talking about the ultimate AI robot. That child will have no soul at all, bro. We got DJ John, Miami John, out in the chat out there doing the whatever he's doing out there.
He's mini capping, isn't he? Is he mini capping? Is that what he does on a Saturday?
I think he's playing GTA 6 out there, real life in Miami down there, kicking some ass. Carrie C says, "Oh no, James, not your hat, peroxide." DJ John says, "Were you your hat was mud sharking it, huh?" We got Oso Miami. She says, "Hey boys," shout out to Oso Miami. Cade the Todd says, "Hello." Carrie C says, "James drops the temperature and makes it all cool." Let's fucking go. Yeah, so shout out to everybody out there today. Happy Saturday to you guys. What I wanted to show briefly before we kind of get started is I did manage to put all of those mug designs up, the new ones. So let me go ahead and see if I can't. There we go.
I told you I should have wore a beanie. These fucking headphones, one of them's just disappeared.
So I got the new mug designs up. Go on over to rayrayishappy.com. You go click on the mugs like so. We got the new one with Mersh, Saint Mersh, all the kitties. I got about 12 new designs, got more cat designs, all kinds of fun stuff. You click on the Saint Mersh, it takes you right to Zazzle. You can check it out. This new Saint Mersh mug is fire, bro. Saint Mersh, patron saint of the abandoned kitties. That's what we got going on here.
Yeah, and that's a good mug, but there's like no James mugs. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, bro, these are designs that I had working on, but I'm gonna get the new ones going. I already have one.
You're gonna end up on the naughty step like on the John, I tell you.
Yeah. So go on over there to rayrayishappy.com. Check out the mugs. Have a good time. You can even get them put on shot glasses or whatever you want. This is just to have fun, bro. Come on. We have a good time. We have good merch. I'm going to be making more and more merch. I got a couple other secret.
Yeah, spend.
I got a couple other secret projects in the works that I'm working on right now. I've been kind of delayed in my Kitty City videos and everything. So I'm just working like a dog, but check it out. Go over there. See what you got. Yeah. Carrie C in the chat. She says, Sergeant Buckets has seen some shit. That's right. Yeah. We got a Sergeant Bucket mug. I sent a couple of those out. Culture Vulture, who just had a surgery, on his colon. I sent him Sergeant Buckets because he's trying to recover. So best wishes to Culture Vulture out there. So, But anyway, enough about the mugs and everything like that. James, you were talking about on the John. Is he gonna, the ministry of the dude, are they gonna acknowledge you, bro? I still got to cut up that clip about how you were going after him. You went in on him a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like it's a respect thing, isn't it? It's quid pro quo. He comes onto your channel and he's hawking his wares, isn't he? You know, promoting the old channel. Oh, everyone, go watch Ministry of Dude, Dr. Till. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, am I fucking invisible or something? Am I chopped liver? You know, you might not like me, you might not respect me, but at least shout out Ray and shout out the channel, shout out Brothers Unite. You know what I mean? You know, I just had to say something. I'm not one not to say something.
That's right. That's right. It's all good. We'll get him on here.
I think it's a Canada thing. I think people tell me how polite Canadians are and how they're better than Americans and how, you know, they'll do anything for you. I don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. Underneath it all.
You know, it's always fun to have a little bit of the, you know, bands back and forth, a little bit of busting of the chops, you know, a little bit of tension between channels, as it were.
We're trying to climb the greasy pole of the online world.
That's right.
We're
here to make it happen, okay? So we're gonna have a little bit of beef.
Yeah, when you're starting at the bottom, the only way you reach the top is by pulling down everyone above you. You got to pull them down, you know. I'm working the inside track. I'm pretending to be their friend, but secretly I'm planning ultimate sabotage.
That's right. So we got a little bit of beef with Ministry of the Dude, even though they are great guys. Go watch them Monday through Friday. I think it's 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then, of course, Merch comes on after that.
Their content wasn't for me. They were talking about Eric July and some blackbird who got killed last night. And it was good, but like, I was like, that's not for me. I want them to talk about Ralph and Scarlett. Well, if it isn't Ralph and Scarlett, I don't want to know. Well, I'm all about Ralph and Scarlett.
Yeah, did you hear that Eric July got a shout out on Joe Rogan? How about that, huh? That was pretty wild.
You know the geezer, right? Is it Michael Malice?
Yeah,
right?
Michael Malice, yeah.
Did someone put that face paint on him, or did he turn up to Rogan with that face paint?
He did it himself, man. He showed up.
That wasn't AI. No. It wasn't Comicsgate mugging him off or anything.
No, that was him. He did it. He did it to look like a comic book character or something. Looked terrible, bro. Looked terrible. I don't know however many people
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's prime time, right? You're going on Rogan.
Yeah.
Like Rogan means something. Now, look. If Joe Rogan asked me to appear, I'd turn him down because I'm exclusive on a Ray's Happy's channel. Right. But like, you know, so he goes on Rogan, and Rogan's the biggest thing since sliced bread, and you turn up looking like a poofter. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, what is that all about? Why would you go there? How can Rogan take him seriously when it looks like he's got the measles or something? You know what I mean? It's like weird, isn't it?
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. So that was kind of weird. Everybody's making a big fuss about that. And the Ministry of the Dude, they were talking about it last night, I believe, and they were talking also about how some of Eric July's origin story. I don't know what it's all about, but apparently that's what his comic book is about. But I was watching it, but I was also working at the same time, so I didn't pay.
Well, they say right about what you know, don't they? Yeah. They say right about what you know. Yeah. So it's like life imitating art, imitating life, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he's very imaginative.
No, he's not. No.
And I don't think he's very creative.
Right.
And I don't think he's got an original bone in his body.
Right.
He's just basically a black thug ex-gangbanger who then did a bit of dancing and tried to become like a mainstream good guy by going, hey, I used to be this gangbanger. Now I'm a businessman. Yeah. And, you know, I'm employing all these people and I'm really, really nice and I'm really, really good and buying my comic books. And it's like, for me, I don't give a shit about comic books. You know what I mean? I care about the people that I care about. And if they happen to be selling comic books, so be it.
You know what
it's not something that appeals to me.
You know what he feels like to me? He feels like an industry plant. You know, it feels like that they tried to make him a singer. Now then they tried to make him something else, a pundit, a YouTube guy. Then they tried to make him a comics book guy. They feel like they're trying to plant him, and everything he does feels like something out of like a Christian church. Like it always feels churchy. Or I know he's a Mormon church and all that, but you know how like when you get that Christian like rock and roll, it doesn't really feel like rock and roll. Yeah. It feels kind of like, you know, synthetic or kind of saccharine, like too sweet. And then you got real rock and roll that feels like, oh yeah, that's real rock and roll. But that's kind of what Eric July reminds me of is a plant, you know, that's going around, and they're trying to find the right plant, you know, position or place to put him. They want him to be a star so big that it's like, bro, how many more times are you going to try this? You know, that's what it feels like.
You know what I hate about conservatism? The one thing I hate about conservatism is that people never embrace who they truly are.
Oh yeah.
They try to go out. They try to go out and find people that they think are going to appeal to the masses and the ethnic minority. So, like you say, Eric July was like a Trojan horse to get into the black community for conservatism. You know what I mean? It's like Erica Kirk is now a Trojan horse, isn't she? They're trying to get her to appeal to women and like carry on Charlie Kirk's legacy.
Yeah.
You'll always see if they put the rocket boots to someone, you should always be really, really dubious. Like someone who's an overnight sensation. You didn't know them yesterday, but today they're the biggest thing since sliced bread.
100%.
Always be very wary of those people because they probably are an industry plant.
We got Canales in the chat. Is that Ebi? That's Ebi Canales out there. Shout out to big man Ebi Canales. We're going to have to get him back on soon. He says
he's doing good art. I enjoy his art when he posts his art. I enjoy Ebi's art.
I fucking love Ebi. Go check him out, Ebi Canales on YouTube, Ebi Canales on X as well. He says preachiness is preachiness, regardless of which side of the political spectrum it comes from. I guess. I think he hit it dead on right there. And I think that's what it feels like. It feels like manipulation. You know, when you have genuine rock and roll, genuine artwork, it feels like people do it from a place of passion. Whereas all this other stuff feels like they're doing it to try to capture you, to try to capture the audience and try to force whatever propaganda down your throat, whether it's communism or Christian or, you know, Indian or, you know, Buddhist or Muslim or whatever it is. It feels like they just want to program you. You know what I'm saying, James?
That's what I hate about Rumble. Apart from the fact that the Rumble app is shit and completely unworkable, right? But I hate going on there and it's people of my age, right? And it's like, it's like old boomer conservatives, isn't it? You know what I mean? I hate that word boomer because everyone uses it all the time. But it's old boomer conservatives hitting you over the head with a hammer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's
all
so
the
fucking
time,
annoying.
bro. All the time.
Dan Bongino and
Oh
fucking Don Jr. and Cat Turd. And it's like, mate, you are the people that repulse the average man and woman.
Yeah.
You know, you turn people off of conservatism. You turn people off of religion. You're not helping. You're hurting. You are just a hindrance.
We got Max Clammer in the chat. He says it's more like a Trojan horseman. Am I right? He's making a little joke because of the Horseman comic. I got you, Max Clamhammer. Love it. Canales says it is, and he loves us guys too. Hell yeah, let's fucking go. We got
is Chuck Dixon still an Eric July guy? Is he still pumping out the books, Chuck Dixon?
I think he is. We got it's Nimus in the chat. She says she's on a call with a papa, but hey, Ray, shout out to you. Give a big hug to the pops, okay? Hopefully he gets it feeling better. He's I think he's in his 90s up there in Canada trying to weather the storms. But what'd you just say there, James? I wanted to get that in real quick.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, Chuck Dixon, he's the guy, isn't he? He's the type of guy, and he's like, I hate how like everyone in Comicsgate used to embrace him as he was like the old boomer conservative, wasn't he? That was still like he was still in the mainstream, but he was also Comicsgate, but he never said he was Comicsgate. You know what I mean? They all looked at him as like some sage, and I was like, he's just some old man, you know what I mean, who's had his time. And I know he was great once, but is he still great? And you know what I mean? Yeah. And Eric July picked him up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And goes, whoa, I've got Chuck Dixon. That makes me legitimate. I'm established. But are you getting the best Chuck Dixon there's ever been, or are you getting the Chuck Dixon that just needs work?
Well, that's
I mean?
That's a really good question.
Is he still got fire in his belly? Is he still that guy?
That's a great question, and you got to, the question would be like, can you be great at every stage of your life, or is there a peak? And I think that if you try to maintain a specific demographic audience, I think there's definitely a peak, right? So you're 20 years old. You're writing about like everything that you want to write about: sex, drugs, rock and roll. You're getting out there, you're meeting the women, you're fighting the guys in the bar, you're getting after it. Then when you hit like 40, 50, 60, you can't write those same stories, but you can write stories about the 40s, 50s, 60s that are still peak. So you can only be peak like when you're in your 20s or 30s to write about your 20s and 30s. But you can still be peak if you mature your story. Do you think so, James? Do you agree with that or no?
I think you have to evolve and move with the times. You know what I mean? You don't, when you're young, right? You have the piss and vinegar, don't you? You want to take on the world. You want to fight everyone. You want to grab the world and shake it and bend it to your will. But when you get to Chuck's age, Chuck's in his, was he 60, in his late 60s, 70s?
Yeah, 60s, yeah.
You can't be that, creative spark anymore. Some of your stories lose their luster. You know what I mean? There's other people coming behind you, the new generation, that look at you like a fossil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't respect you. They're going, we wanna smash that, and we want to build it in our image. You know, it's our time. And I think a guy like that, and if he's your flagship guy at Ripperverse, what I would have done with Ripperverse, right? If it had been me, I would have gone out there and got the best young talent that was available to work for me. That, you know, I would have even gone into the mainstream industry and said, "Hey, I'm a new company. I'm a new man. There's no ties to it. You can be whatever politics you want. You can be whatever religion you want. Here's a paycheck. Will you work for me? And will you do the best work that's available?" I wouldn't have gone out and go, "Hey, I'm going to get the old dinosaur conservatives, or I'm going to just get the junk that's been chucked out of the mainstream industry in Brazil. You know, whatever. You know, the guys that like you work for that company and just like they just kind of like they don't put the effort in, do they? They just kind of like just sling ink on paper. You know what I mean? They're just trying. They're You're just like, yeah, get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out.
Well, I agree with you on that, and I think what you're really talking about is market analytics. And I think when you're starting anything new, that you have to capture a young demographic. So in order to capture a young demographic, you got to find a young voice. You know, you can't have an older man pretend to be a young voice. That really doesn't work. You know, his little window of that era has passed. He's out of touch with what the kids and what they're all going through. Once you build that young voice in there, then you can also start to get older voices that you know, supplement or complement the younger voice, and they can write deeper stories, maybe about family, maybe about other things that appeal to an older audience or a deeper range of people. But I think when you're starting out, yeah, you got to catch that spark. You know, you got to use the things that invigorate people. You know, like when you wake up in the morning, to eat, you know, to drink, to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to fight too. But those are the things that you should try to encapsulate that youth and that vigor in order to drive the greatest growth for whatever brand you're trying to grow. Then after you grow it a little bit, you can branch out and start to get more of a seasoned, more of a wiser kind of voice. You can add other complementary voices in there. But so that's kind of where I think he missed the mark. You know, he should have aimed for like the 12 to 21 year demographic, or I don't know, 13 to 18 or something like that. And then gone with that. Don't try to, you know, be everything for everybody. Just hit a demographic, you know, land a solid sales, then build the other demographics with it. What are your thoughts on that, James?
Yeah, well, you want a new voice, don't you? And young people are hungry. Young people want to make their mark and they want to leave their mark. And if these young people come in and only you use your company as a stepping stone, so be it. You're going to get that property, that intellectual property, the first stuff that they brought out, and they may go on to do other stuff for other people and become a huge name, but you're getting them in their infancy when they're at their most, they haven't been tainted yet, have they? You're getting the most unvarnished, untarnished version that are speaking their absolute raw truth, you know, in the world that they're living in today, and they're saying it and putting it down on paper, whether they're a writer or an artist. The older you get, you become safe, don't you? Because you've got the house, you've got the family, you've got the children, you've got the grandchildren. You naturally lose your edge.
Yeah.
You ain't the firebrand you were when you were a young kid. I'm not the guy. I'm 45. I'm not the same guy I was when I was 18 years old.
Yeah,
I'm not the same guy.
Bro, I bet you were going through the bars at 18 years old, buddy.
Yeah. I'm just the guy that goes into the bar now and wants a quiet pint in the corner. Just leave me the fuck alone, mate. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Just leave me to get drunk in the corner like a sado. You know what I'm saying? No. But it's like you do change, don't you? Evolve. You don't go out looking for a fight. Like when you start doing, sometimes you just kind of like do the work for the work's sake, don't you? It's a paycheck. But when you're young, you're thinking more long term, aren't you? You go, I've got to put the best version of myself on paper if I want a career in this industry.
Yeah.
If I want respect, if I want a future.
Yeah, you're definitely a bigger risk taker when you're younger. Also, you have that virality too. You know, you're full of piss and vinegar. You like, you know, what do they say? Young and dumb and ready to come. And you know, between, you know, when guys go through puberty until 25, 32, 34, all they're thinking about is being driven by their sex drive. And so that's all that edge, that's that raw, unvarnished, untainted, break through the ceiling. You know, then when you start to get older, you have to season it. It's like Ebi in the chat. He just said young writers and old writers have different qualities, I guess. Younger ones are more ferocious. Yes. Older ones have better technique and can get you enthralled with a shopping list. And he's right. Older writers, they have other things to offer. It's often like this though. Older writers should never compete with younger writers straight away. It's the same way a 40-year-old woman shouldn't try to compete with a 21-year-old woman on the same playing ground. You know, a 40-year-old woman should change the way that she seduces men, and quite often she can over seduce a man than a 20-year-old because she knows these things that will turn a man on, that will adjust him. And that's also what writers should do. They have more experience, they have more wisdom, they have more intuition. Maybe they're not filled with that piss and vinegar and all that kind of stuff, but they have more tools to utilize. And so I think they just have to change their game and not appeal on the same level that maybe a 21-year-old writer would. Shout out to Hobo Chili Recipe in the chat. What do you think about that, James?
It's all about evolution, isn't it? You know, the people that last, you know, it's like rock bands, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
bands.
If you think about Guns N' Roses, they were shined really bright for a short amount of time, didn't they? And then I think yesterday Foo Fighters released something like their 15th, 16th album or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't like the Foo Fighters music, but you can't say that they haven't had longevity. And Dave Grohl in particular has had longevity, going through Scream, Nirvana, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
So he's had longevity. But Guns N' Roses, they burned bright for a really short time and they were amazing. But then they just fell apart and fell away, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the music they're making now is a pale comparison to when they were at their height. I listen to it and I enjoy it like you would enjoy your favorite band. You just want them to make music and carry on.
Yeah.
But if you compared the stuff that's coming out now, dripping out, to something like Don't Cry or November Rain, it's no comparison.
Yeah. We got a shout out to Nanus. She just dropped a little super chat real quick, a little Ko-Fi. So thanks for doing that. Little shout out to you, little clap, 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 clap. Hope you and your dad are doing great. And hope he's doing okay up there in Canada. No, you're 100% right. I think that, you have to evolve. Definitely. You have to go further. And I think that's the great thing about, like, for example, Kanye, the artist formerly known as Kanye. Ye, he's still putting out bangers. Everybody's lining up. He's been off the public scene forever, and he just had the huge, 80,000 sellout crowd down in Mexico City, bro. I watched that event. Everybody's loving everything that he puts out. He's getting ready to drop a new album called Bully, and everybody's going crazy about it. I don't know where Riley is. He's like, Riley's his biggest fan. But, so I think it's possible to evolve. But I think too often people get in this idea whenever they get success, they just think that that's the only thing that they can get success with, and they keep going back to the same well. You want it like one hit wonder.
I think they're scared of losing it. Do you know when you get to that? It's like, can you imagine like a Steven Spielberg, right? Who strives, he doesn't really make dangerous movies, but say like a Tarantino or something. Once they attain that level, right? They might, one, lose the hunger, or two, they're consumed by fear that someone's going to take it away. And this often happens with poor people. When you've grown up dirt poor and you've had no money, when you get money and you get fame and you get status, you live in mortal fear for the rest of your life that you're scared you're going to lose it. So you start playing safe. You stop taking risks because you're fearful that you could be here today and gone tomorrow. So you just kind of like knock out movies that are pretty much the same. Like Quentin Tarantino started like a ball of fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was just going, and then his movies of late they haven't been as evocative to me. They haven't been like passion pieces. It's just like, I'm making a movie for a movie's sake. And he keeps talking about his 10th movie and he's going to retire. And you know that he's finding it hard to get it across the line. And I don't think he's going to go out with a bang. I think he's going to go out with a whimper.
Yeah.
I think the movie's going to be about a film critic. I think that's what they're talking about. And I think he's going to try and bring back all the previous actors that he's had that are still alive. And it's going to be nothing more than a greatest hits nostalgia piece. Whereas I would just throw the book out the window. I wouldn't go with any of the people that I've been with before. I'd get a whole new cast of young, hot things. And I would leave a mark that my last movie was my most visceral and dangerous movie, because he's leaving anyway, so it doesn't matter. So make a movie that you want people to remember you by and to define your legacy as a guy that came in All blood, guts, and thunder. Go out the same way that
Yeah.
you started. Don't make a safe movie.
Well, isn't he doing Kill Bill 3? Isn't that what isn't I heard somewhere he's going to do that too? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But
Maybe he's going to put it into a series. He
yeah.
might do a series. You know what I mean? He could put it on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
Do a series. But I think his last movie is going to be. I think it's something to do with like a film critic.
Oh,
is what I heard.
okay.
He may have changed it. He may have changed his mind. But I know he wanted to do a Star Trek movie, but that never came to pass. He really wanted to do a Star Trek movie, but I know that never came about. They didn't want him. They thought he'd be too edgy, I guess. But who knows?
Well, I don't know. Star Trek's pretty terrible. It's dog shit now. But, the other thing that I think about is lifestyle creep. And this is pretty big for me. Lifestyle creep is that concept that when you start to, get a little bit better life, that it changes you. Because you used to be young and hungry, or you used to be compelled because you didn't want to be poor, or maybe you were compelled because you wanted to get better women, or you're compelled because you wanted respect. But there was something that when you were in poverty and you were on the streets and everything was raw and visceral, that there was this compulsion for you to climb. But then when you finally make it, you become successful, that compulsion is no longer there because your life has now become easy. So that's another way to look at it too. I think a lot of these people have a lifestyle creep that maybe put that monster to rest inside of them. It's kind of like what Mike Tyson said when he said he can't box anymore because that person, that angry killer isn't in him anymore. His life has changed. Maybe he went through therapy. I don't know, but he changed. So people do change, James. So they can't keep fighting the same way.
I know. Well, actually, talking to Mike Tyson, he's going to fight Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition.
I saw that, bro. How ridiculous is that?
It's been announced. And then Floyd, right, is coming back to mainstream boxing.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna go back in the professional arena, and he said he's still got things to achieve.
Well, why is Floyd coming back? First of all, Floyd is like way lighter than Mike Tyson. That's crazy, right? One punch from Mike Tyson to put him down. Number two, I thought Floyd had all the money in the world. Did he already go through his money? Why is he coming back?
You have to understand someone like Floyd, right? Floyd burns through money. He has Floyd has a gambling addiction, and it's not like you or me. Say we go down to bookies, right, and we put £50 each way on a horse.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do like an accumulator, and we put $100 for you, £100 for me. Floyd goes to events, right, and he puts 500,000, win or lose. You know what I mean? That's the kind. He gets a buzz and in his life now, because he can't get that buzz and adrenaline from fighting. He gets that buzz and adrenaline from gambling, and he will bet on a fight. Straight win, straight loss. You know what I mean? He'll bet 500,000 on this guy to win. You know what I mean? And sometimes he wins and sometimes he loses.
So,
and I think Floyd's status is all built around how much money he's got. Remember when 50 Cent started digging into him, saying he couldn't read, he couldn't write. That hit him really hard.
He can't read. Yeah.
He couldn't read and he couldn't write, and that hit him it hit him to the solar plexus.
Yeah.
It really hit him. It's like the way 50 Cent went P. Diddy, and now 50 Cent says, I'm going to do a documentary about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
When 50 Cent hits you, because he's like Kanye. They're both men from the street, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
They'll always be men from the street. They'll never lose it. Kanye, 50 Cent will die a gangster. You know what I mean? He might be doing rap, but he's a gangster.
Yeah.
He'll die that. He'll always have that gangster attitude.
Well, it's funny. Pat C-Shell SoCal says that's why sometimes it's good to lose it all, then get it back again, keep the edge. Ebi says modern boxing has become a freak show. That's what I was going to say. Has modern boxing just become more of a pageant? Not really pugilist. There's not really competition. It's more of a pageantry. It's more of this stage show to make a lot of money. That's why somebody like, how old is Floyd? Is he 50 now? He can get back in the ring and
he's 48, I think.
48,
he's 48.
Pretend like he's going to box. There was a time when boxers couldn't go past 35, 37 because they would get an aneurysm in the brain or something like that. Now he's like,
you know what I think he wants to do?
What?
Do you know what I think he wants to do? I think he wants to emulate George Foreman and win a world title in his 50s. So I think the plan for Floyd will be go back into the welterweight division, find the weakest champion, right, and box his ears off over 12 rounds and become a world champion in his 50s. And then Floyd can say, look at my legacy. I walked away from professional boxing in 2017. after I defeated Conor McGregor. Then I came back in 20, if you don't, so it'd have to be 2028, wouldn't it? So I come back in 2028 and I won a world title in my 50s. You can't deny that I'm the greatest boxer in the world,
Yeah.
the greatest boxer that's ever existed.
Oh, maybe you might be right. Now, here's my next question: has boxing become too boring for the audience? You know, the audience now, everybody's trained on their cell phones to scroll every 3 or 5 seconds. They want something new. You know, is a 12-round precision boxing match with Floyd Mayweather going to be too boring? What are your thoughts on that, James?
For Netflix, it will be because Netflix likes
they like the
they
Jake
like
Paul
the kind of like
Yeah,
they like those fights. They like the Gonzo fights, and the next Gonzo fight is going to be Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano.
what about
I
that
made
fight, bro?
I made a video. I made a video this week where I basically laid out that Ronda Rousey is completely shot. She's a shot fighter. Unless she gets you on the ground and does an armbar, she can't beat you. She can't stand up and fight with these young, hungry fighters. And Gina Carano was never good. Gina Carano's now fat.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
She's
what I
old and
said.
fat.
She got super
right?
fat. I was like, "What? She coming
Yeah,
back?"
well-
Somebody says she dropped weight or whatever. But can you come back from being fat to become a boxer again? In
No,
your
people
in your
like
later
Gina
ages?
Carano because she's attractive.
Yeah,
And I hate what's going to happen. And you know this because it's your area online. We're going to get all the FNT crew, all the so-called right wingers being rah-rah for Gina Carano. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get her on Friday night tights, hanging out with Dean Kane and all the other drips. You know what I mean? On Friday night tights. They're all going to be rah-rah for her. And then everyone on the left who hate Gina Carano because of all that Mandalorian Star Wars shit are going to want Ronda to come back and beat the shit out of her.
yeah.
Well, what's going to happen is it's either going to be Ronda takes her down with an armbar, beats her, or Gina Carano gasses out and falls over because it's going to be 5 rounds over 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, Gina hasn't got the cardio for that. She hasn't.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to watch. It seems like
It's a freak show. Freak show fights on Netflix.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury's come back. Freak show fight on Netflix. You know what I mean? Netflix wants the freak show fight.
Yeah,
and what's happening as well is boxing is getting cannibalized. It's getting taken over by the younger, hungrier, sexier UFC. Dana White is coming into boxing, Zuffa Boxing, and he's backed by Turki Al-Sheikh in Saudi Arabia. So he's backed by him, who's got all the money in the world. And they've just signed Conor Benn, taking it away from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. And now Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are the biggest thing in the UK when it comes to promotion. And Dana White just went like that. You work for your dad, mate. I've got this big briefcase over here with money. What are you going to do, Connor? Are you going to stay with the guy you've been with for 20 years? Or are you going to come over with me with a big stack of money?
Yeah.
And Connor's like, well, fuck me, I'm getting old. I'm going to take a big stack of money.
Yeah, for real. And that's kind of what it's all evolving to, it seems like. It seems like everything in sports is going, by the way of entertainment. Like how football is now registered as entertainment. It's not really sports anymore. Everything's going the way of the WWE, scripted, fake, designed to have gambling, to maximize the gambling lines. And that's the real sport now, is gambling. Everybody's addicted to it. Everybody's addicted to gambling, to betting on things, to, oh my God, maybe my team's going to win, or, doom scroll. Maybe I'm going to get the next big video. Maybe I'm going to see the next big influencer. And, even when we watch, I don't know if you watch influencers very much, like IRL streaming, like with Kick and everything like that. I can't believe these people are streaming the stupidest stuff in their IRL live streams, bro. And I'm just like, who watches this anymore? And it's kind of like reality TV on steroids. We talked about this earlier. Yeah. One of the fun things though, that has happened lately was that whole Scarlett with the Ethan Ralph thing. Have you been watching that?
I'm addicted.
Oh, you're addicted?
Right, I'm a 45-year-old man, right? That's addicted to the love life of the next porn star and a pillage. I mean, that's how sad it's become for me. But like a car crash, when you're driving past
you can't look away.
You can't look away.
Can't look away.
I cannot look away. And Mersh did some really good lines, right, that I was thinking, and he said them. And I was like, well, I'm not going to repeat it. But with Ethan Ralph, it's the hope that kills. And out of nowhere, Scarlett has become his hope, hasn't it?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
He's down to his last bit of life. He's on his way out. And then all of a sudden, this banged up old porn star comes out of nowhere and she's like, I love you, Ralph. And Ralph's little face, when I said to you, right, I said when we were off stream, like we were about to come on, he he goes, I talked to Scarlett for 6 hours, man. I'm like, dude, I can barely talk to a woman for 6 minutes before she annoys me. And you're talking to her for six fucking
Yeah,
hours. Are
yeah,
you out of your mind?
yeah.
Dude, what's happened to you?
What?
He's like, yeah, I love you, mommy Scarlett.
Well, that Scarlett, she is a storm of babble. It seems like she can just, project word vomit for endless amounts, copious amounts of time. It's wild. Apologies to Matt Mead. I think we had him wrong. I know I did. I made a couple of cartoons that were a little bit harsh on him for domestic abuse, and it turns out, bro, it was all, a lie, basically. Fabricated by Scarlett. So apologies out there to him. It was fun to see him. Did you see that interview that he did with Mersh the other night? I think it was 2 nights ago, maybe, or 1 night ago. He came.
I've seen some clips.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting. Shout out to him for coming on Mersh's channel and kind of, squashing that beef meeting of the minds and kind of talking about what the inside relationship with Scarlett looks like. I'm sure it was a fucking hurricane, bro. Can you imagine?
I think Scarlett is the type of woman, right, where you could go 23 hours of the day and everything will be sweet as a nut. But then that last hour will be the worst hour that you've had in your living memory. You know what I mean? Because she can turn on a dime. She's a very volatile personality. She's either really, really up or really, really down. And she says some of the most bizarre shit, which makes me think she's not right in the head. She keeps talking about Area 51, immersions. And Ralph can't get over Mersh's girlfriend. He's obsessed with Mersh's girlfriend. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like this online world is so weird how you get this really intense attachment to someone that you probably seen like twice in your life.
I know, the parasocial attachment. And it's like,
yeah, Ralph is very much. He's out in Mexico, right? Fuck.
Yeah, he's out in Mexico. Carrie C, real quick in the chat.
He's out in Mexico. Yeah. I hate these fucking headphones. I'm going to have to wear a beanie again. I've lost one headphone already.
I saw it pop out. I saw it pop out.
Yeah, I have no idea where it is. It's like...
it's like in your room somewhere? In your house?
Yeah, it's like it's gone under my bed, and it's like I can't reach it at the moment. I have to fucking get it later.
Technical issues.
Yeah, it's so mad. Like that's why I always wear a beanie. People go, "Why don't you wear a flat cap anymore? Why don't you wear a baseball cap?" But it's like because there's something wrong with my ear. Either they're too big or too small, and they just don't sit right. These headphones do not sit right at all. But I can't wear those big ones because I'm not a DJ. I look like a twat.
Yeah.
But like. Getting back to the online parasocial relationship thing, it's so weird because they pass around each other, don't they? They're all very intense with each other. And then when the fallout happens, there's all that hate, And like with Mersh, when he spoke to Matt Mead, they got on fine. There was never an issue. So there was never any friction really in the first place. It was just made up online beef.
Yeah. Carrie C in the chat, she says she thinks Ralph and Scarlett should get married. I don't know how long that.
Yes, I agree. Vegas wedding.
Yeah, I'm all about the accelerationism. Now, you said that you thought Scarlett was the kind of girl you could have 23 hours of heaven with and 1 hour of hell. I think it's probably the opposite. I think it's probably 23 hours of hell with 1 hour of heaven. And that's kind of the way it is. Also, I think Scarlett might be the kind of lady that when she turns 30, she might, because of drug use or whatever, have no teeth. You know what I'm saying? She could be like that homeless person that you're going to see in the future. And that's kind of sad. What do you think about that, James?
It's amazing, isn't it, Lo? She's a 26-year-old woman with, I know what porn's a dubious history, right? But how damn bad has Scarlett got to be, right, that she's ended up in the clutches of Ethan Ralph?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's been used like a dirty cum rag. You know what I mean? And she's so broken. She's so damaged. She's been so fucked up by the porn industry that she's finding love and affection from Ethan Ralph, who is known to have the most checkered history when it comes to women. I'm not going to slander him because he might sue or whatever. I don't know. Might be one
all the way from
guys,
Mexico. Yeah.
Might start getting the tortures on me or something. I don't know, torturous interference or whatever. But no, he's the most unbearable human being. He's ugly. He's out of shape. He's odious. He looks like he stinks.
Yeah.
When you look at some person, he looks like they stink.
Well, he's an addict. I mean? Yeah, he's an addict. Yeah.
You can just imagine a hovel that he lives in, and Scarlett's even contemplating, even though how down bad
that's crazy.
In fact, the fact she's even contemplating going to Mexico is crazy to
Do,
me.
do you think?
Absolutely
Do
crazy.
you think she really is thinking about it, or do you think she's just playing,
Yes.
stringing him out to get the last little bit of attention and a little bit of fame on the internet? Do you think it's one of those things?
I agreed with Mersh in the sense that it might be an angle to get back with Matt Mead. I agreed with that. But I don't think Matt Mead wants to get back with her now. He probably sees it's much more profitable for him to be away from Scarlett, and he can make, more money in the Dabbleverse, hooking up with Mersh than he ever could, being with Scarlett. And why would you want to go back to that? So I think she's going to be forced to go down the Ralph Avenue. And
Yeah,
I'm like, if she goes to Mexico, is she going to come back alive?
yeah. I don't know. Mr. Jeeky in the chat, he says, it makes a good point. He says, would Ethan get mad if we bought him a custom cuck chair as a wedding present? But his second part is the interesting part. Scarlett ain't quitting porn anytime soon. My question is,
Someone said she was banned. Is she banned?
that's what I was saying.
Someone said in the chat said she was banned.
Yeah, I think she might have actually been banned. She might have an STD or something that I don't know. That's allegedly somebody put out there. I heard. But I have to say allegedly because I have no idea.
Yeah.
But why would she not be doing porn anymore? Or unless she got broken psychologically, she in the trauma of it.
She's very anti-porn. Have you heard her when
Yeah.
she speaks?
Yeah,
When Wayne Lambright was on there, he made some jokes.
yeah,
He's a very funny guy, Wayne. I'd like to see Wayne Lambright on this channel. He's
Yeah.
a funny guy. I like him.
yeah. Well,
And he's like,
yeah, we'll
he
reach
made
out.
some jokes. Yeah, made some jokes. And Scarlett came out and called him all the names under the sun. And she's like, oh, I'm anti-porn. And I'm like, I've seen your porn. You got railed by about 5 or 6 black men. I don't know how you can be anti-porn. And she goes, I paid for this house. I've got this house. This is my, through porn.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
You've got that because of porn. And she's anti-porn.
man, yeah.
She makes no sense. She's a total contradiction. She's mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's mental. She's mental, bro. And it's like, I have no fucking idea, right, how she gets through the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's going, she's so paranoid, isn't she? She's going, there's people outside. People keep like ringing people. She's going like, people do welfare checks on her every day.
Mad as a
And
box
it's
of
like-
frogs. I love it. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to use that saying. Maybe even make a mug out of it. I love the imagery of it. We got Professor Grass in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. Hope you have a great Saturday wherever you're at. He says, don't worry, James. Mexican lawsuits do not count. I agree with
Thank
that.
Christ for that.
I don't think they can come after you.
I don't want Ralph. Actually, I do. I want Ralph to get really angry with me
Yeah.
and start bringing me up on stream.
Yeah.
That's what I really want. You know what I mean?
We got Hobo Chili Recipe. He says, word around the campfire is that Peter North said she was gross. So, yeah, if he says she's gross, then she's gross. Yeah.
She's here, isn't she? I
She's
said this
tiny.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why this is what they always do, right? This is like they think this is the ultimate fantasy for men, right?
Yeah.
It isn't the ultimate
Yeah.
fantasy for me for you to get a
No.
really small white woman and get railed by a load of black guys. I do not want to see that. That
No.
doesn't turn me on. That's not my thing.
That's social engineering, bro. In my opinion, all of porn is social engineering. They're trying to, program the young demographic of men. We just talked about it. They're trying to capture the 13 to 18 or 13 to 21 demographic and pump all of this weird social programming, all of that like stepdaddy stuff, all that incest stuff, all that, weird ass, 5 black guys, 1 white guy, all that crap. They're trying to, brainwash these guys. And of course, we all know who owns the porn companies, right? That's not any
Yeah.
big surprise right there, but it's all gross.
And it's sick, right? They find because the thing with Scarlett is so tiny, right? And she's got like the tightest snatch, right? And they find the biggest black guy, right? And it looks like the most disgusting violation you've ever seen in your life. If that turns you on, mate, you need to find something better to do with your life.
Yeah,
because
man. What happened? What happened to normal sex, bro? What happened to getting turned on by normal
man.
sex? What happened to the good old? Give me the good old Neapolitan ice cream. Don't give me these crazy ice creams. All right, give me the chocolate, the strawberry, the vanilla. Right? Let's go with that. But the larger issue here is how she painted Matt Mead and how everybody kind of grouped around Matt Mead like he was some big huge bad guy. And I'm not saying he wasn't like a little bit, not the best guy, or I don't even know really. Maybe he was a peach, bro. This guy could have been a gem. He said he left his car keys for her to go to work in all the time. And bro, she painted him like a fucking abuser, set him up and all that kind of stuff. And, we all thought that he was. And how dangerous is that? And men in the modern era need to protect themselves and be careful about this. I think that any time a woman or, some sort of, I would say, random pussy just falls in your lap, you got to start looking around and looking for the strings that are attached to it, because that's not normal. And in my life, I've always looked for anything that falls out of the normal behavior of women. You don't trust it. Like if you have 3 women come up to you and say, hey, let's go and do this and this and this and have a good time tonight, you're probably going to get scopolamine. You're probably down in Brazil. You're probably going to get your kidneys cut out, and you're going to wake up, 2 days later with one less kidney in a bathtub full of ice. You know what I'm saying, James? You got to be careful, right?
Look, I think we still live in an era. I've said this before. The woke's going to come back with a vengeance. Once the midterms are over and the Republicans get slaughtered, you are going to see the Democrats push that woke agenda. Again, it's going to come back twice as hard as it's come before. And I think with women, we've never got past that believe all women.
Yeah.
People always believe the woman, rightly, wrongly, and it's always believe all women. And men are always seen as the perpetrator. You know what I mean? They're always seen as they are the party that's done the wrong. It's always believe all women. And I still don't think we've got past that. And I don't think we'll ever get past that. Because the people that I know, people that I associate with, people that I see, they still feel that way. They still feel that way. They would always believe the woman. And I think what happened with Scarlett, right? You've got a lot of the geezers online. I'm not casting aspersions at our chat because we've got the best chat. But I'm saying there's certain people online that like mint salad, like Scarlett Hampson, like Courtney, like Pat, like Forest Mummy. Any woman that comes into the chat or whatever, or on stream, they glom onto them immediately.
Yeah.
They start building that fantasy in their head, don't they? That they could be the guy, they could have a relationship with them. And if they come out and say anything online about you or me or Matt Mead, they're instantly gonna believe the woman, and they're gonna come after us and try and ruin us.
Yeah.
Like they tried to ruin Matt Mead.
Yeah.
When it was probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but mostly Scarlett.
Yeah.
Because Scarlett's batshit crazy. And as a man, what do you do?
We didn't know how crazy she was. Yeah.
Was she hitting him?
Yeah.
Was she hitting him? Was it verbal, intensely physical? And like with that thing, you want to get away, don't you? So you try to get away, and then she's going, don't walk away from me. So if you turn your back, she'll probably be smacking on your back. Not saying Scarlett, or women in general, they'll be smacking on your back.
Yeah, allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they don't hit you in if they don't hit you in the front, they hit you in the back. They verbally abuse you. And what can you do as a man?
Nothing.
Can you verbally abuse a woman?
No,
you can't hit her. Look what happened to Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Everyone believed Amber Heard, and Amber Heard mentally is a lot like Scarlett.
Yeah.
They're two sides of the same coin, aren't they?
Amber Heard, she is a monster.
Blondes are crazy.
She's a monster. We got Pat in the Seashell SoCal in the chat. She says, you're lucky if you get ice in that tub, 100%. Professor Grass, shout out to him. He says, Scarlett Hampton does, PU pot? I don't know what he said. Scarlett Hampton does, I thought she was just really gross. Yeah. Does piss, I think he said. Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Piss porn.
Hobo chili, porn. Yeah. Hobo chili recipe says, yeah, this isn't going to turn out like Mike in Brazil. You're going to get trafficked 100%. Professor Grass says scopolamine, not even once. Yeah. Scopolamine will put you out, bro. Make you numb, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really bad, really, really dangerous. You don't want to mess with that kind of stuff. And also with these women.
Well, that's why you don't go to certain places in Europe, isn't it? Hostel isn't just a movie.
Oh, it's
actually
real.
Happens.
It's real.
If you go to certain Eastern European countries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go missing and you don't ever come back.
Yeah,
That's just the way it is.
Also, Miami, she brings up a good point. She says she thinks the onus is on Matt Mead because of his age and the respect that everyone did have for him prior to this. I completely agree with you. Ultimately, it is Matt Mead's responsibility not to destroy his own, his own career, his own reputation. So he has to be careful about that. Even, all men have to be careful about that. You spend your whole lifetime building a reputation. You let a woman in because maybe, that one day your sex drive got the better of you and then it all comes undone. So, I definitely agree with Oso Miami. Matt Mead should have never let her in his house, bro. If he was going to, fuck her, he should have took her to a hotel, done it, let her stay there a couple days, then send her home or whatever. She was definitely not a Definitely not a relationship person, bro. That is scary,
Or he
man.
should have done that. He should have done that 6 hour phone sex that Ralph did.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you know.
I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, the 6 hour phone sex. Yeah, that is
You'd
some.
have to put my penis in a wheelchair, mate. I tell you, it'd be like a meat tenderizer. I'm like 6 hours, jerking it for 6 hours. You're joking, you bro.
Oh man,
Fucking hell.
yeah, that's wild. And Matt Mead, he did have a good reputation, man. Around the block. That's what I'm hearing.
I think it's the allure. I swear to God, it's the allure, right? I don't know why it's an allure, but she's 26 years old. She's blonde. She's kind of hot. She's kind of trashy to certain people. And it's like the allure. Some people are really like, oh, the allure of me dating a porn star. I'm having sex with a porn star. You know, this bird, she did sex professionally, but she's having sex with me.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the allure. It's like the allure for some people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, all I'd be able to think about if I was Scarlett is all the black men she's been with in all those porn movies. It would never leave my head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because basically all her movies are violations. They're just like literal violations.
Well, they are.
It ain't my cup of tea, bro.
No, and also as you get older, you still want to think you got it. Whether you're a man or you woman, you still want to feel like, yeah, I still got it. Yeah, I still got it. So that was the allure for Matt for sure, is to think that, oh, I still, this 25, 23-year-old young blonde girl that, is very attractive and very in demand. And so much so is that she even does porn, bro. She wants me. When he misread that. She didn't want him. She just wanted to use him. I know you got your earbuds popping out again, but she just wanted to.
It so much.
She just wanted to use him.
Next time.
Yeah,
He's forever now.
Yeah, no. But I know that you got some big storms over there too. Probably messing with all your internet and stuff. But I wanted to ask you. You're in England. What's going on with this whole Prince Andrew thing? He's getting arrested. How's everybody feeling about over there in England that Prince Andrew got arrested? Does it even matter?
I think it does matter. I think we're heading for a constitutional crisis in this country.
Oh.
I think there's a lot of people that want. I said this to you, didn't I, previously? That I thought this whole Epstein thing, was like we were talking about. It's going to be a massive change on both sides of the pond. And I think it's really come to the fore now because people are sick of the monarchy. I think you're going to see now. There's going to be like a change where more people want a republic and less people want the monarchy, because the monarchy is very popular with people my parents' age.
Okay.
But they're all getting old, they're all dying out. With the young coming up, and because we've got all these immigration problems with illegal migration, if they had a vote today, I think they'd sweep the monarchy away in a landslide. And I think Charles may even have to abdicate over this, because they're linking Charles to Andrew in the sense that what did you know?
100, bro. 100.
What were you hiding?
He totally covered.
Were you
up.
protecting Andrew like the Queen was protecting Andrew?
100%, bro. You saw that painting of him with the red background. That's basically the Baphomet when you reverse it. His favorite guy was Mounds or what is it, Mountbatten or whatever. That was his uncle that he loved. That guy was a known pedophile. His best friend was Jimmy Savile.
He got blown up by the IRA.
Yeah, known pedophile Jimmy Savile. Of course they knew about it. They're all doing this, bro. I think this is the reset that Charles and also Prince William is going to use to try to reset the monarchy, to put it in good terms and integrate AI into it. I don't think the monarchy is going to go anywhere. This is just my outsider take. I mean, I'm probably wrong, completely wrong. But I think that the monarchy is going to use this to reset it, to or eliminate all that social energy, so people think that they're actually getting justice, but they're not going to get justice, bro. They're not going to get justice. It's going to be, this is what the monarchy is. Prince Andrew is what the monarchy is. The crazy thing is that Prince Andrew got arrested for insider trading, not for any of his sexual things.
No one's getting taken down for anything sexual.
Right.
I mean this. And I don't agree with it, but I mean this. Nothing's happening on your side of the pond to anyone.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't think anything's going to happen to Donald Trump. I don't think anything's going to happen to the Clintons.
Right.
What's the other guy? Is it Lex Waxman?
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to happen to all that crowd. You know what I mean? But on this side of the pond, I think the problem is Andrew basically, it's treason. He was selling state secrets. So like you said, insider trading, he'd get information and he'd pass it on to Jeffrey Epstein, who would use it to manipulate the markets. He was also passing it on to China. Because the thing about Andrew likes the women and Andrew likes the money. And he can't get the women because of, the way he looks and he's got a terrible personality. and he doesn't have any money. He goes through money like this. He's not a very wealthy guy. His mother had to pay Virginia Giuffre I think it was $12 million to hush her up and get her to shut up. And then she still released a biography after she died. So it still came out in the wash.
Yeah,
But
facts.
no one's getting done for anything sexual. But the thing is, the only way the monarchy I think can survive is if it completely slims down. So it will just be William, Catherine, their children, and maybe on your side of the pond, Harry and Meghan and their children. And that will be how the monarchy will exist in a slimmed down version.
Yeah.
Everyone else is going to have to be swept away, including Charles and Camilla and Edward and Sophie and all their children. And, Andrew's obviously going to go away. So Beatrice and Eugenie will go away. But it's a thing that this country wants to be a republic. It's changing. You know what I mean? They don't like the history of the monarchy. You know what I mean? They don't like what it stands for. They don't like what it represents. They think it's archaic and outdated, like we're trying to get rid of the House of Lords. But Labour see this as a way of taking the exposure from them with Lord Mandelson and Lord Doyle and their connections to Jeffrey Epstein. That could have brought down Starmer and the Labour government.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient that it's all about the monarchy at the moment.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. We got Professor Grass in the chat. He says, let's fucking go. America to Britain Boogaloo. We got Pat. She says Charles is just as bad. Ebi says my brother of 80 years is a quote unquote is a PDF file and has been attending Satanist reunions for decades, but I never knew. Come on, Charlie, get with it. Kay the Todd said, didn't his brother bring the charges against him? Meaning didn't King Charles bring the charges against Prince Andrew? Is that what happened, James? Or do we know? I heard that King Charles didn't want to comment on it.
Now, King Charles doesn't want anything to do with it because it taints his reign.
Yeah.
His reign is very tenuous because Charles isn't liked because he divorced Diana and he married Camilla, who he was having an affair with for many years. And people can't get over the fact that Camilla looks like an old boot. And he loved Camilla more than he loved Diana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing was, it was his father. His father made him marry Diana when she was like a young teenage girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Camilla was a divorcee.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? She was older. So it was like he was forced into it and he never stopped loving her or whatever. I don't care. But Charles isn't standing in the way. They're even talking about taking Andrew out of the line of succession. He's moved off royal grounds. They've taken away all these privileges. They've taken away all his money. He's now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He's no longer referred to as Prince Charles. So Charles has done everything to distance himself, and he's basically not protecting him anymore. Hence, the police could come onto royal grounds and search his properties and arrest him. Basically, he's thrown him to the wolves. But my argument would be, if Andrew goes to trial, he will be found guilty because there isn't a jury in the land that doesn't know about this case and doesn't think he's a sex offender and a paedophile. So even though he will be being charged for selling state secrets and insider trading, they can't get that out of their head, so he'll be convicted. But how is a man like Prince Andrew going to serve a sentence? He can't go into an open prison,
bro,
because he can't go. If he goes into a Category A prison, which is where he'll be sent, everyone in Gen Pop will take a pop at him to make a name for himself. So he'll have to go on the nonsense wing and spend 23 hours a day in like a 10 by 8, an 8 by 8 cell. Yeah. He won't survive. Well, he'll top himself.
Let's be real. He's going to pull an Epstein and he's going to like fake his death and he's going to go live in Israel or something, in Greece on an island somewhere. That's what's going to happen here. And they're just doing this with Andrew to relieve the social pressure, bro. 100%. And I definitely think that that's what's going on here.
You're right. His arrogance made him stay. If I was him, right, and I knew this shit was around the corner, even though I'm not advocating for him to get away with it, I want them to lock him up and throw away the key. He's a monster. He's a wrong'un, right? But if I was him and I had that kind of pull and connections, I would have gone to a country with no extradition. Yeah. And then they would have, you know what I mean? Yeah. They wouldn't be able to touch him.
Well, he feels untouchable. And, here's the other thing, too.
He's arrogant. He's such an arrogant human being.
The other thing, too, is, the police had all that information for a long time about Johnny Savile. They didn't do anything about it. It only came out after his death. So Johnny Savile.
Who was the head of public prosecution?
Yeah, he was untouchable.
Who was the head?
Who?
Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, at the time, was the head of public prosecutions, and he did nothing about Jimmy Savile, and now he's the Prime Minister of our country. How's that happen?
Yeah, no, and so he's the prime minister. So now you know nothing's going to happen to Andrew. They have this proven route. They're going to fake his death. They're going to whisk him away to safety. They're going to pretend like justice was taken care of. They're going to like wash their hands of it, and they're going to say, okay, everybody, now we're going to be super serious about all this stuff. We're going to be really serious about it, and then they're going to continue on. That's what the whole, like, you know, the whole reason they even brought Diana in, when I heard, was so that they could have the special bloodline, you know, and then you have the Royal Order of the Garter. You know, they have all of these Masonic, all of these secret societies running all through everything. It's not going away. They're unable to weed that out of Britain, because that's what Britain is. That's what it has become. What are your thoughts on that, James? Is that too over the top?
Well, if you look, no, well, look at Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. Earl Spencer's got a checkered history and a checkered past. Basically, there's like, when they talk about like a two-tier justice system, there's also a two-tier society. There's people in that upper echelons that are operating on a completely different level to someone like me. You know what I mean? God, it wouldn't be me, but put me in Andrew's position. Do you think I'd be talking to you on the internet?
No,
right
hell
now?
no.
They would have come. They would have come from me within 24 hours.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got bail. I would have had my day in court. I would have been convicted, and they would have locked me up and throw away the key. They would have put me in Gem Park, where I'd probably been murdered. You know what I mean?
Right.
Someone would have taken the law into their own hands. And that's how probably it should play out with Andrew. But like you said, it isn't, because they're going to try and finagle a way of like getting him, extricating him, so he doesn't have to face the justice that he should deserve. Well, he deserves to.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw that there was a picture going around on Twitter, or a video of some people walking up upon Ghislaine Maxwell in another country, bro. And they're saying that her body double is the one in prison, and that she's out and about. Now, I don't know if that's AI or not, but it doesn't matter. You can't tell anymore. You can't trust who's actually in jail and who's not in jail. Mr. Jiki in the chat, he says he feels bad for the dude that looks like Prince Andrew, who they are going to use as the dead body double. Yeah, they're going to get some body double. They're going to kill him. They're going to put him in there and pretend like, oh, he's dead. We can move along now. But I don't really see this reforming or changing the government or the monarchy of England. It's too ingrained. You know, this whole thing, this whole secret society thing is too ingrained. I think they will do a makeover, right? I think they'll glow up and they'll pretend like, you know, oh, like you said. I think that, okay, I have a theory that the reason that they put Meghan Markle with Harry is so that they can attract all of the negative attention and make Prince William and Kate look fantastic. And that's what's happening. That you have the yin and the yang. You have Harry and Meghan looking like absolute beasts over here, and they're getting paid to do it. And then you have William and his wife looking like Catherine looking like saints, right? Is that kind of how they're viewed in England? Like they're fantastic, right?
Yeah, well, I agree with you. Like, the more things change, the more they stay the same. You know what I mean? So it might just be a different incarnation. But you have to understand, Catherine is universally loved.
Yeah.
The only time she wasn't loved, when there was friction between Harry and Meghan and William and Catherine. There was this spat, and a lot of the ethnic minorities took Meghan's side and like accused Catherine of being like an old English racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, they shuffled her off to America. That's kind of died down. And then you've had Charles, who's suffering from cancer, and Catherine, who's recovered from cancer. So she's even more loved in the eyes of the British public, because she's been through this turmoil and she's come through it. And she's a beautiful woman. She's put together nice, you know what I mean? And none of this stuff has really touched them. If you talk about William and Catherine, they're not tainted.
Yeah.
Harry and Meghan, they're not tainted by this. But Charles is very tainted by this. So it wouldn't shock me if, you know, he's still suffering from cancer, he's in his 80s. It wouldn't shock me if he abdicated and passed it on to his son, so that there's a clean slate. And like you said, it can remain, you know, in situ.
Well, also, you know, the whole world is a stage. And I think that what if this is all scripted to give William greater control as he goes into his monarchy, as he ascends to the kingship? You know, say, for example, King Charles dies or pretends to die, goes, you know, and that allows the world to coalesce around William. Now William's going to be the guy who's going to bring truth, justice, and freedom. You know, maybe he's going to make right his relationship with Harry, which is going to further unite, the United Kingdom and all of their satellites around the world around William when he becomes king. And so that's a whole big soap opera. And, they know about this parasocial relationship stuff. We're doing it now. Tavistock Institute, everybody in England, they all know about it. The big people who plan this stuff, don't they call Prince Harry and all those Prince William, don't they call the monarchy or whatever they're associated with? They call it like the what do they call it? The project, or they have a word for it.
The firm.
Yeah, the firm.
They call it the firm.
They call it the firm. So think about that for a minute, people. They call it the firm. That's pretty wild when you start to get into that.
Because it's like the old establishment. But you've hit a really good point. I don't know if it was deliberate or accidental, but like with regards to the monarchy, they're becoming, the older generation were very closeted, right?
Yeah.
You never explained and you never complained. But the younger generation are in tune with social media. So they're like you and me. They're coming on here, right? And they're talking about their day-to-day life. They're talking about their children. They're talking about mental health. And they're cozying up, right, to all the left-wing media, all the lovies, all the celebrities, and they're seen as more entertainment. Like we said, everything's entertainment. They're seen more as viewed more like actors.
Yeah.
Or authors, or they're seen more like that. You know what I mean? They're more like like Ebi would know this. They're more like the Spanish monarchy. You know what I mean? Less formal, more entertainment based. You know what I mean? They're kind of like coming out of their closet, coming out of their shell. Charles is a very closed up man. He's like, but William would be coming on there and saying, oh, I had a really terrible day today. I'm struggling with the fact that my wife's just recovered from cancer. My children, they're growing up.
Yeah,
I worry
it
about
humanizes
them. I
them.
worry about their future. Yeah, they're making them out to be like us, even though they're very much not like us. So they're trying to close that gap between the top tier and the bottom tier, the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
And they're using it through our emotions. It's like, and then you hear people, right? They go, they're just like us, but different, but they're just like us. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, they're not, bro. All right, so we got Pat in the chat. She says Meghan is in the rumored to be in the Epstein files, sleeping with Prince Andrew. That's the word on the street, James, is that Meghan, that's how she met Prince Harry, is through Prince Andrew, being a yacht girl with Prince Andrew. What are your thoughts on that? Is there any validity to that?
Do you think that's why Harry thumped him? Because the rumor is, right, Harry knocked him out, right? That's the rumor. And everyone's saying it, that Andrew said something, and in one of their castles or one of their mansions, Harry just sparked him out.
Wow.
And that was that, which is really weird because of all the people, right, as much as you hate Andrew, and you can't hate Andrew enough, he's an obnoxious monster, right? Yeah. He's an absolute wrong'un, right? He was actually he fought in the Falklands. He saw real service. You know what I mean? He was like Royal Navy Commando. You know what I mean? He's actually got pedigree. He's not the wimp. I know he looks like a fat dollop, but he's not the wimp that everyone thinks.
Well, he used to be really handsome.
Harry,
he used to be really handsome.
Yeah. He's his mother's favorite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was
the dashing prince that was sleeping with all the women.
Yeah.
He was Prince Charming, and then he married an ugly boot like Fergie. But which is so weird, right? When you can have the thing that annoys me about the royals, I would marry other beautiful foreign royals and try to merge the families, but they never do. They marry some of the ugliest women God ever gave breath to.
I don't think they have. I don't think they have control of who they marry. I think it's in the secret society. I think they're directed on who they have to marry. I think everything is controlled. That's my own opinion. I don't know if that's true or not.
But I'm just saying, Diana was an absolute nightmare for Charles. And Sarah Ferguson was an absolute nightmare for Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They couldn't have picked worse women. And when Diana and Sarah Ferguson were together, it was like Scarlett Hampton on steroids. You know what I'm saying? It was like fucking crazy.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Don't you think Meghan Markle is kind of like a Scarlett Hampton? She seems like a crazy, crazy woman, bro.
Do you know the word up jumper?
No, what's that?
Do you know the term up jumper?
No.
So say you come from the ghetto.
Okay.
Say Meghan comes from the ghetto because she's black. I don't know if she comes from the ghetto. But then she grows up, right, with this fantasy in her head that she's going to marry a prince. And then lo and behold, she meets Harry and she marries a prince. But she's not from that social stratosphere.
Yeah.
She's not from that social sphere. So it would be like me. Say I fell in love with a princess and she decided to marry me. Like I was telling you about my family and Amy's family. We're not from the same social spheres.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like I'm up jumping
Oh,
through
okay.
marriage.
Okay.
I'm up jumping through a relationship to get to a certain social level and social status. Megan was not a particularly good or successful actress.
No, she wasn't. No.
But she's not the worst looking woman in the world.
Yeah.
And she saw her opportunity to marry a prince and get the social status that she craved through that acting couldn't get her. I'm sure she would have loved to become an Angelina Jolie.
Hold on there, James. I gotta fix the audio dipped out one last time. I gotta fix that real quick. So yeah, I was gonna say, where's that headphone at, bro?
Somewhere. I have no idea where it's gone. It landed on my dumbbell and went for a fucking.
Hopefully we got you back right there. I just had to reset
so
that.
I'm just talking about social status.
Yeah.
So the social status that she couldn't get through acting, she was never going to be an Academy Award winner.
No,
she was never going to be viewed. And she was never going to be viewed as a Sydney Sweeney or an Angelina Jolie or whoever the hot, pretty actresses. So she got it through the monarchy, didn't she?
Yeah.
And now she's one of the most famous women on the planet because she was a social climber.
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie C in the chat says she's available for James to get a green card. Just putting it out there. Eyebrow wriggle. So, of course, there's Carrie C, your fan out there in the chat. Yeah, I think that, it's wild how all this stuff comes together, and we don't see all the pieces, but we can try to estimate or try to guess or extrapolate what those pieces could be, and try to see what that little society is that's operating underneath everything. I think that's kind of fun, and also kind of shows like the hidden power structure that transcends borders. And how they say that borders don't exist anymore.
I'm definitely wearing a beanie next time.
Yeah, you got all that popping out. So let me go ahead and down here and check my notes. Yeah, we got him arrested for insider trading. They're going to reset. I think they're going to reset the monarchy with Prince William, and I think that's going to be the big thing. It's interesting to me that nobody else has gotten arrested from the Epstein files. What do you think about that, James? We don't have any arrests from the Epstein files.
It doesn't shock me. It honestly doesn't shock me because these people are too important. They're too influential, right? And if you put their feet to the fire, right, who are they going to grass up? They're going to grass up
other
people
big
that are way
people.
higher up the totem pole than them, aren't they? That's why Epstein had to disappear.
Yeah.
That's why maybe Andrew's going to have to disappear deliberately, accidentally. Because these people know, don't they? They're all in the know, right? It's like I'm very much into organized crime, right? The reason they get people, right, they arrest them and put pressure on them is so they grasp the higher ups up. They don't care about the foot soldiers. They care about the captains, the underbosses, the bosses, the secret bosses, the street bosses.
Yeah.
That's why they take the people lower on the totem pole and get them to grow. They want who is the Joe Valachi, right, in the Epstein files? Who's going to give everyone up? Ghislaine Maxwell said, didn't she? I'll testify, right? I'll say, but you've got to give me immunity so I can get out. She's just basically, she's no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Right.
No comment. No comment. She would even now, right? She could get out. She won't give anyone up, will she?
Well,
she won't talk.
I think
she won't
is
give anyone up because she knows she'll go on the missing list.
Yeah,
she starts talking.
Yeah, I think she is out. I agree with you. I don't think that the police want to solve any of these cases. I don't think that the FBI wants to solve any of this. I think they're all in on it. I think they're higher ups, like Cash PayPal, Danny Bongos. I think this is all a joke. I think it's just what's going on. They all want to participate in this so they can get paid, and they don't want to blow the whistle. They don't want to tell on anybody. They just want to get their money. They want to participate in this underground bullshit, and they want to go along with being invited to courtside seats at the Lakers game. That's what this is all about. What do you think, James?
Do you know when they say, like, hush things up, cover things up, don't let it get out into the public domain? It's because when you pull that piece of string, the whole house of cards, or you flick a card, the whole house of cards will come down.
Yeah.
And you can't have our establishment in this country and your establishment come down, because it will bring down monarchies. It will bring down governments. It will bring down societies. You and me are just talking on the stream right now, but you imagine all the horrific things that are being perpetrated around the world
Yeah.
every single day that we know nothing about, we're oblivious to, we're not in tune with, we're not in touch with, we don't see. Who was it that said, like, someone said there was like dark room? What was it? Someone's like I can't remember her name. Lady Victoria Hervey, right? Said in Thailand, there's something like dark red rooms. There's a red room, and every month they sacrifice children in these red rooms, she was saying, right? And she's not an idiot.
Yeah.
She's a socialite, very, very well educated. She says, you go to Thailand and there's these things called a red room where they sacrifice children every month for whatever god or whatever deity or whatever, how they get, I don't know. She was just basically going on about red rooms.
No,
And I was like,
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, they sacrificed children long ago. You know, you hear about it in the Bible.
it's a pagan thing, isn't it? They were doing it in pagan times.
Yeah, you hear about it with in different parts around the world, and I guarantee they're still doing it today, much more than we even know or are aware of. And it's intentional, so we don't find out about it and get enraged. They kind of keep us in this Mickey Mouse mindset where we think the world's like this simple little place where all this stuff doesn't happen, but it's not. It's a very cruel place. Let's see. I'm going to jump in the chat. We got Carrie C says, referring to that picture of Ghislaine Maxwell, she says, it is not Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay. Could not be. We got,
it did look different, didn't it? I mean, it was like apples and oranges, wasn't it? I mean,
it could be.
I saw Kerry posted that on X and I was like, who's this person then? I don't recognize her, man.
Yeah. We got Riley out in the chat. He says, good morning, everybody. I guess he's just getting up. Shout out to you, Riley. Hope you're doing good. I know there's a big storm coming your way, so batten down.
He's one of the enemies, isn't he? He's one of the Ministry of Dude guys, isn't he?
Yeah, batten down the hatches. I don't know. Riley's kind of a free agent. He bounces everywhere. He kind of in and out.
He pops up everywhere, doesn't he? To be fair, he does pop up everywhere.
Yeah,
he's like the total opposite of me. He'll go on every stream that exists online.
Yeah.
And they're like, James, you want to go on this stream? And I'm like, no, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes, mate. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Carrie C says, dang, say a little prayer to that hose is unfrozen enough to water the plants in my happy hut. Yeah, so Carrie, I hear there's like a once in a lifetime kind of storm coming for the Northeast and the eastern seaboard of America. So be careful out there.
What is up with this weather?
That's all engineered, bro. And if you don't think so, I could show you. Not you, but if people don't think so, I could show a few things.
No, I believe it.
Doppler radar is designed to steer these big systems. There's a Doppler radar dotted all across like a matrix, our landscapes, and they turn them on or turn them off to steer the weather patterns. And then what they do is they chemtrail the hell out of everything. They, then they use micro frequencies in order to nucleate the particles to create, precipitation or snow. I mean, it was snowing where I am. I live in the desert. It was snowing the other day. I was like, bro, it never snows here. What the hell is going on? Pretty wild.
I just think with me, I can't remember. It feels like it's just been raining every day since November the 1st.
I know, man.
You know what I mean? If it hasn't been raining, it's windy, it's freezing cold, and it's felt like that. I can't remember a worse autumn and winter. I can't remember in history. Worst autumn and winter every day. And they say we've got another month of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's just so depressing. No wonder people are going on holiday.
Yeah,
it's fucking depressing. Man.
Well, I agree, and the odd thing is that in the atmosphere they have those big atmospheric rivers, which is where the precipitation exists up in the atmosphere. And if they take it and try to give it to England, or they take it and they try to give it down to Massachusetts, then they steal it from other places. And so where I live, we've had probably the driest winter I've had in a long time and the warmest winter I've had in a long time. Usually it gets pretty cold for a month or two, but it hasn't been cold at all. Like today, it's like nice. It's in the 70s today. And so, they're making it cold on the eastern seaboard, which makes it warmer here. And, it's, I got Carrie C in the chat. She says it's a La Nina. Yeah, it's true. It's like that La Nina effect, except they can manipulate where those atmospheric pressures go by creating different pressures in the atmosphere, like with the HARP and all that kind of stuff. But they really have all that stuff. The patents are all out there. James, I wanted to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Consumer Electronics Show that just happened in Vegas. And, we were talking about, usually the CES or the Consumer Electronics Show happens every year. And it shows all of the best new electronics coming out. Like say, for example, back in the day when you had like the PlayStation coming out, the PlayStation 2, that's where it would be all unveiled. or you know, consumer electronics.
Nice cassette recorder from the 80s.
Yeah, or like some
Nice Walkman.
right. Sony would be there, Panasonic, you know, Samsung, all the big players would be there. You know, all the new electronic toys and gadgets and everything would be shown there. I saw some videos about how it's all AI integrated, it's all dog shit, and none of it works. Not only that, it's all AI slop. And so here's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the concept of AI slop, not only in the videos that we see on X and the songs that we hear that people make, but it's also starting to proliferate out into our tangible devices, like our little robots, our little devices, you know, the coffee maker now that has AI in it that's retarded and can't do things. What do you think is going to happen with that? Is all of our great tech going to go down the shithole and get worse, or what are your thoughts on that, James?
I don't know. I think people like quite on edge about it, aren't they? Quite nervous, quite, you know, I don't like it because like you've seen how I am with technology. The more technology evolves, the more I hate it. No, I'm barely able to push a couple of buttons. When we come on, it's like you go, oh yeah, there's something wrong with your audio, James. And I'm like, oh fucking hell, drop me out, mate. I'll tell you when I start again. This whole AI thing just bugs the life out of me. I don't really know it. I don't understand it. I don't like it because it's the manipulation, isn't it? There's a guy on, I think it's TikTok, right? And he talks to people in the prison system, right? So he talks to them, right? And these are the most violent criminals. And he winds them up, right, by sending them AI videos. So there was this black guy, right, who was a mass murderer, right? And he sent him a video, right? Got his face, sent him a video back of him kissing another inmate. And he goes, man, he goes, that ain't me, man. How did you get me? I wasn't kissing a man in my cell. He goes, you're going to have to die. He goes, I'm going to have to find out all your family. And he was like sending him, he was able to scan his face and then send him a video and like just do another inmate coming in, scan his face and make it like they were making out.
I never thought about that.
In the prison cell. They were making out in a prison cell. And I'm like, imagine, right, say they did that to me, right? Say I was in a shop and they scanned my face and then they put it on someone and it was like I did the crime or something.
Yeah, bro, that's wild. Well, you know that's
How nuts and mad would that be? Because in Croydon, right, I told you, it's got the most security cameras. It's got facial ID, facial recognition, most surveilled place in the country, right?
Yeah.
And it's got crime there. It's got crime there all the time. Imagine if they started transplanting my face onto all this fucking shit. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I'll be like, you know, I don't remember shagging that bird, but that's definitely my face. I don't remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That freaked me the fuck out, man. It freaks me out.
Bro, I never thought about what it would do to prison culture, you know, because, you know, you can get those guys to kill each other over just a photograph.
Yeah. He was mad. He was livid. He was like a Crip or a Blood.
Yeah.
And he said to this guy, and he's got a chat. I'll try and find it and I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's going, you got to die, bro. I got to kill your whole family. I'm not into that gay shit, bro. That's not me. You got to die, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, shout out to Tank, who's in the chat now. Good to see you, Tank. No, but I never thought about the impact that would have in the prison system. That would wind everybody up, get everybody going. Also, think about the whole reputation, how they have to fight. You know, they basically are like soldiers waiting for a command to go kill people, and you put the AI of them doing something that they didn't do, like being a punk or anything like that. That's a big deal in prison. And then how many more people are like that out on the street? That's crazy. I never thought about that. Yeah.
He goes, you got to take that offline. You got to take that offline, man. My family could see that. My bros could see that. My clique could see that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's on TikTok, right? And it's all on your show. I've got to try and find a channel and I'll send it over to you. You watch it. But he just basically, he gets sent back, right? And there was this other guy, he was like an Aryan guy, he was like Aryan Brotherhood, right? And he started ripping up his shirt. He goes, look, that's what I look like. He's going, that's what I look like.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, that's definitely you, he said. And it's all on the internet now and your family are going to see it. I was like, mate, you are playing with fire, dude.
Wow, that's crazy. We got a shout out to Pat. We got a tip from Pat. Shout out to Pat. Thank you, Pat. That's awesome. Big clap to Pat. Nice stream, she says. Throws us $5. Appreciate it, Pat. I hope you're doing a great job out there. Appreciate it. Tank Ferret says, huzzah to the tipper. Huzzah. Yes, huzzah.
Yeah.
But
it's bad, isn't it? It's like, I used to like it when you used to go and see those shows, right? And you'd wait 5 years, wouldn't you, for the latest design evolution of the PlayStation.
Right.
Do you remember when you went, right? I was so disappointed when you went from the PlayStation 1 what was the one that was really bad? Was it the PS2 or the
I
PS3?
think it was
One of the designs.
the PS3. I think that was the PS3.
Yeah, the PS3 design was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just looked like a weird rectangle.
Yeah.
I hated that design, and the disc tray was really flimsy.
Yeah.
But I always like to go and see that. You know what I mean? I like to see the evolution of design, and I worry with the implementation of AI, are we going to lose that? You know, like people's ingenuity and craft and design.
Yes.
It's like, you know, like we haven't got the tradespeople anymore, have
Right.
we?
Nope.
You know what I mean? We haven't got the stonemasons. We haven't got the carpenters.
Yeah.
No one's doing industry anymore like that. We're losing like the beautiful buildings and the architecture and art's changing, isn't it? You know, we don't see so much beautiful art. It's all Banksy.
Yeah.
It's not really like
it's not real art.
Raphaelite.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is that like you know, they were showing on the video about CES is that all these toys now have AI guts inside of them, and AI frequently, you know, it doesn't work. You know, it has a glitch in it, or you know, it crashes, and the programming wouldn't work right, and so now you're getting this widespread, you know, AI slop with like. You know, the programs aren't quality. You know, the toys aren't quality. Nothing is quality anymore. Everybody's playing this game like they think that if they can have AI and if they do AI, all of a sudden they're going to become a millionaire. So it's really like they're gamblers. They're like addicted to gambling. Everything now,
Venture capitalists, I think.
everything now is gambling and porn and drugs. That's it, bro. Like that clavicular guy, right? Isn't that what he talks about all the
Yeah.
time? Instead of
Yeah.
doing the hard work to become a man, like you were telling me about this, how he, you know, he was going around and he kind of got like embarrassed or something like that on stream. You know, he can't even bench press 135 pounds more than 3 reps. And I was like, what the hell is that all about? I mean, that was 7th
Well,
grade.
Cut the Grass showed that video,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
Cut the Grass showed that video. What's the guy's name? He's like the number 2 Chad. Like I think he's like Cut the Grass did it. And someone whipped his baseball cap off and
Yeah.
he had a wig on, didn't he? He had a rug.
Yeah.
So his rug come off and he was like me. He was bald or balding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then basically that's all his alpha status gone down the toilet.
Yeah.
Because he was wearing a fucking hat with a wig in it.
Well,
So-
and nothing's real anymore. Everything is just like for posture or to put on camera. And camera, we all know, bro, everything on camera is a lie. It's all fake. It's all entertainment. None of it's real. It's like Tank Ferret in the chat. He says he was raised as a mason and a carpenter. The aesthetics of architecture have been dull for decades, even when he was a kid in the 80s. It's all going away. You know, we have, for architecture, we just have boxes now. We have trailers. It's all bullshit. Then we have all these people out there who aren't interested in being real man, but they're interested in looking like a real man on camera.
If you spoke to my dad, right, it'd be funny because he's one of these real old school guys, and he'll just be like going, "It's the computers, son. It's all the computers. You know, the computers. It's the computers, son."
Well,
And
your
I'm like,
your
"That's
dad's
all he-"
right.
because he doesn't know. My dad is completely technologically illiterate, right?
Yeah.
So he just thinks everything. Fuck.
No, Dad. It's like Tank says in the chat. Dad body for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is mad. Everything to him is just a computer.
Yeah.
So there's no distinction between a PC and laptop. It's the computers, son. You've got to get off the computers. You've got to go outside. You've got to breathe the fresh air. You've got to go to the gym. And that's what I worry about. If our whole life revolves around the screen, what kind of life are we going to have?
Exactly.
We're gonna leave our
Exactly.
house.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that movie. You know that movie Megan?
Yeah.
It's going to be like Megan. You know what I mean? It's going to be like eventually we're going to get killed by our robots.
Yeah.
We're going to be in our house, right? And our toaster's suddenly going to become sentient, right? And kill us or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it's going to end up.
No, I agree. We're gonna become drowned in mediocrity. You know, that's what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna kill us. I think they're just gonna give us something, you know, that is like slop that we never get excited about. It's like I saw this guy Mastar. I follow him on YouTube. He talks about anime, and he was showing how AI can now do anime pretty good. And but the thing is it can only copy the anime that already exists. It's never going to make anything new. And the other thing too is it's only going to make kind of slop. So how long is it going to take for everybody to get tired of AI? So they're building all these AI data centers, billions of dollars, and then in the span of one summer, everybody's going to get tired of AI. It's like you don't see those Studio Ghiblis anymore, right? You don't see people putting women in bikinis anymore. Is that even a trend anymore? That came and gone in 2 weeks, bro. In 2 weeks, it was over with.
Well, they brought in a law. See, this is how bad our country is, right? As soon as that happened with Grok, they decided to expand the online safety bill because our government, like I said, Keir Starmer is very censorious. So he jumped straight on that. And I think I posted a video this week where it said they've got 48 hours, right? Imagine this. Talk about setting up people for a fall. They've got 48 hours to remove all like revenge porn and AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like deep fakes.
Yeah.
Now, you know for a fact that's being pumped out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's no way that any streaming platform or any online platform or social media platform can get it off that quick. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fines, heavier fines, and then bans. And that's going to be all over Europe and especially in the UK.
Yeah, well,
so they're taking the failures of Grok and the failures of X, and that's how they're going to get them beyond the back door.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think this is part of the design, is that the carrot of the AI is at the very beginning, but it wears off quickly. So then what they have to bring in is they have to bring the tyranny in, and that's what they're going to roll in. I think that was always the plan. We got Tank out in the chat. He says even his out of shape self can outbench clavicular. Dad bod for the win. Yeah, 100%, bro. A man.
Well, he's a model, isn't he? He's a male model. You have to understand, right? That guy, he's using it, isn't he, to grow big, get women. He gets women. He grows big. He was online the other day, right? And he was on there, and he was all dressed in black, and he had his hair, and he looked like a model. And this girl comes on there, right? And she knows how to mug him. I knew what this girl was going to do from the start.
Yeah.
He put it on her. And then she was like, "Well, you've got a girlfriend, didn't you? So
Yeah.
I'm not interested." Because there's cachet now.
Yeah.
Because clavicular is supposed to be the ultimate male.
Right.
Even though it's me.
Yeah.
Clavicular, even though I
Yeah,
can't
that's
keep
right.
it funny,
That's right.
Yeah. It's like clavicular is supposed to be the ultimate male. There's more cachet for these women to grow big now by rejecting him because they'll see their social media grow.
Well,
so it's kind of like he's made a rod for his own back, hasn't he?
No, you saw that girl who went on after she was on his stream. She went and started her own stream and made $30,000 in that next stream, bro.
Yeah.
It's wild. We got Riley out in the chat. He says his AI girlfriend is already warmer and a better conversation holder than his most recent ex-girlfriend. Most people can only copy others and make slop too. It is going to fit in with most people. No, that's true. Tank says even with the AI animations, he still hand animates GIFs. I think hand animation is going to come back with a vengeance, personally.
Yeah, because you're going to want the artist.
That's right.
The thing is, if you basically flood the market with this AI stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a market for the true artisan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like the funny thing about it is I might be wrong, but I heard that Eric July's even talking about openly embracing AI now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I think someone mentioned it because he wants to mass produce content. I think Riley mentioned it, or someone on that Judas show, Ministry of Doom. You know, so it's like they were mentioning he's going to like do 70 comic books a year or something.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about. See, this is the thing. None of these people understand that less is more.
Yeah.
It would be really great if you could just produce 4 brilliant comic books
a year.
You know, release once every 3 months. You know, and do it for the year. And they were like, you can maybe 100-page count. I don't know, whatever the sweet spot is. But it's better to do less is more, and it make it really, really boutique. Than fucking doing 70 and 65 of them as shit. Yeah,
facts. We got Riley. He says one day his AI girlfriend will have a robot body and clean the house for him. Then it is too over for people and women without any human penises. Yeah, that's
the only
crazy.
one I ever liked was the idea. You know, they did the Blade Runner sequel with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
His AI bird was Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
Now, if my AI bird's Anna de Armas, I might sign up for it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro. I don't think so. I think you're going to get tired of her really quick. That's the thing. It's like when you know it's a robot and it doesn't.
I want a 6-hour phone conversation like round. Hey, baby.
Yeah, that's crazy. We got Zayd out in the chat. He says, "Hail, bros. Hail to you, Zayd." We got CK out there. He says, "Hey, people, just checking in. Have fun, laugh a little, say a prayer for me. Bye-bye." All right, bro. We will. Hope you have fun.
Yeah, CK's having a bit of trouble. Didn't one of his family members get killed or something?
Over in Costa Rica, I think one of his cousins got.
Yeah, don't go to these places, people. It's like it's really exotic, isn't it? And like you said, you end up in the wrong place, the wrong time. You know what I mean?
Well, this is okay. So this is a crazy thing that I always thought about. Here, you tell me what you think, James. There was a time when everybody in America was going to escape to Mexico, escape to Costa Rica, go to these other places when the whole economy was going to crash, and they're going to go over there and start a farm, start the good life. And I'm sitting there thinking, bro, you think you're going to go to this other country where there's all these, Costa Ricans that speak Spanish, and they're just going to roll over and let you in, let you win, let you be at the top of the food chain? No, bro, they're going to take you out, man. Do you think you're going to go to Mexico and you're going to be like an American that stands out like a sore thumb, and they're just going to say, oh yeah, this gringo who came over here, we're going to let him be at the top of the food chain? No way, man. They're going to come and they're going to fuck your shit up, period, unless you can pay them off or pay for protection like Ralph does down in Mexico. What do you think about that, James?
I think it's our government's fault. Our governments are some of the worst people. And it's not just the left, it's the right, because they are the most accommodating people in the world. We have people coming here illegally and illegally the same as you. And they don't come over here like guests. Like when they come into your house, maybe they take the shoes off. They show respect. They don't shout, swear, rant and rave. They come over here, right? And they impose their will on us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's crazy. We stupidly think that we can go over there and impose our will on them. And you're dealing with people that don't suffer fools gladly.
No.
There's no one in a South American favela, that's going to go, oh yeah, you come over here, you start dictating to us, you tell us what to do. Everyone comes over here, right? And they can come and build their church, take over a community, make it their area. You couldn't go over there as a group of white people, a group of Americans, a group of English, and put that shit on them.
Right.
Because you'll end up like in a fucking body bag, mate.
Yeah.
They won't stand for it.
Well, it makes me want to have Kyle from Ministry of the Dude on. He lives in Brazil. I'd love to hear what he has to say about it. I know the favelas are some of the toughest places in the world.
I can never understand that guy.
Well, that's what some people say about your accent, James. But, we'll just put on the closed caption.
Who says that? Who says that? Bring them to me. Bring them to me. I will deal with them. They will be dispatched.
That's right.
If it's on the John, he'll be dispatched, mate. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I fear no Canadian.
No, facts. We got Colonel Zaid in the chat. He says, can you draw a whole comic book in 3 weeks? Print and ship. No, you can't. But the thing about it is that there's going to come a time when this is going to bifurcate. It's going to split into two. The AI slop is going to be for the general population, right? And then the quality stuff that's really made, crafted well, is going to be for the elites, and that's what's going to happen. So, if you want to offer quality artwork, you see it already. The elites gobble up all of the old world sculptures, all of the old world art, the oil paintings. You look in the Rockefellers' houses, they got the wall-to-wall, floor to ceiling, 3-story ceiling artwork, bam, bam, bam. You go in the monarchy, James, right? Isn't that what you see? You see these old paintings stacked one on top of the other on the walls, and it's quite the experience. It's just like a museum.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Breathtaking. It's like going to the Louvre.
That's
I've got a book over there from when I went to the Louvre. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Right.
And the thing is, you can never see it all in a day.
Yeah.
Because certain sections are closed down all the time.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go multiple times to fully appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we're rushing to make people unemployed and unemployable.
Right.
I mean, unemployment in this country is through the roof.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're rushing to embrace AI and make more people unemployed and unemployable. Well, it seems a ridiculous notion to me.
Well, it is ridiculous.
It's just going to be like anarchy.
But what they're going to do is they're going to roll out UBI, Universal Basic Income. It's going to be based upon the AI structure, and people are going to have to sit in front of their console or their phone or whatever for so many hours a day, push the button, do the thing, whatever, so that they can get their little bit of universal basic income, their cryptocurrency that's going to last exactly 2 weeks. So they have to come back in 2 weeks and do it again, so that they can then go purchase their AI slop food from McDonald's or whatever. That's what they want to do. That they want to put you in a digital prison cell where you have to go along with what they want you to do, give them your energy. That's the real currency in society, is energy, focus, and attention. And they want to harness that completely and use it for what they want to use it for. And that's what this is all about. What are your thoughts, James?
Joyless and soulless life, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just turning people into drones,
Yeah.
It's like I think the beauty of life is that it's like, I don't know how many people in the chat are following it, but we're all individuals, aren't we? That's the one thing you notice about online culture. is we're all very different. Whether we're in England, America, whether the geezer from Brazil, Kyle, you know what I mean? We dress different, we look different, we are different. We embrace life in a different way, and that's what I like about life. It's like it's all different, it's all wide, it's all varied. Where it caters for all tastes and all people. But like if you put that structure in, we're all gonna be the same.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be joyless, lifeless drones. You know what I mean? We're all gonna dress the same, we're gonna look the same, we're gonna eat the same, we're gonna act the same, and you're gonna take away human nature. The things that make us different, the things that make us individuals, the variety that is the spice of life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to live in a society like that.
No.
Drop me out, I'd rather be dead. I want to feel things. I want it to be visceral, and I want it to be every day to be something different.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing that already in the big cities, like in Europe or even in New York, right? I mean, New York used to be a place that you would go and it had this distinct culture. I don't know if you saw, but Sneeko and a bunch of Muslims were doing a prayer in Times Square. Our Times Square is like your Trafalgar Square over there in England. Thousands of them were lined up and doing, their kneel and their prayer on their prayer mat in Times Square. Like, what the hell's going on with that, bro? They're changing the culture of the cities that they go to throughout Europe, throughout the West, now in New York. What are your thoughts, James?
Well, I think it's Mamdani. Mamdani's going to basically turn New York into his image of New York, isn't it? It's going to be a very Islamic Muslim image, like Sadiq Khan turned London into a very Islamic Muslim feel. I posted that video today, didn't I, about what was going on in Croydon. And basically a white guy who goes up there, So Cheese, you should follow him on YouTube, So Cheese Media. Good lad, he's from Croydon, he's from my ends. He's blowing up. And they were basically saying, you're a white guy, right? You don't belong in the area. This is not your area. No one likes white people. Get out of the area.
Right.
And yet he's white and he lives in Croydon.
Yeah.
And what I said in my video, I was like, my family have lived in Croydon, and not me anymore, but my family is still there. Some of my family, they've lived there over 100 years. My dad's side of the family, they've lived there longer. You know what I mean? Imagine if I was in Croydon and it was me instead of Say Cheese Media, and she said that to me. I'm like, I've been here longer than you can possibly imagine. My family, when they come over here, they fought in 2 world wars, mate. You know, what have you done? And yet these black people, felt the need to attack him and was saying that you don't belong here, white people don't belong, this is our area, we've taken over. And that's how it feels in London. I think that's how it's going to go in New York.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you feel having elect Mamdani, white people, knowing that this guy, right, he was basically, everyone's going to get free stuff. Soon as he gets in, raises your taxes.
Yep.
Where are all the celebrities? Where's that gingerhead bird from Sex in the City who was like campaigning for Mamdani?
Yep.
She might be able to afford the raising taxes, but there's plenty of poor New Yorkers that can't.
Yeah. Well, you just saw the who was it? The billionaire Steven Spielberg just
He's leaving.
He left. He left California because he didn't want to pay the taxes that Gavin Newsom is raising. So they're all hypocrites. This is all bullshit for show. And you're going to get this culture.
Yeah, Cynthia Nixon. I think Cynthia Nixon's the word I was talking about. She's very political and very annoying.
Yeah, that's who that is. But they're going to make this culture, this AI slop culture, this mediocre gray, all of the colors mixed together to make this gray, flavorless paste of a culture, and it's going to be everywhere. And that's what people are going to be oppressed by. It's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of the architecture in the Soviet Union. It's just an oppressive architecture, and it tries to press down your spirit. And for that reason,
brutalism. Don't they call it like brutalism?
They do. They call it brutalism. Good point. But for that reason alone, I think, to Zaid's point, they're going to use the AI to oppress people with the artwork, but then that's going to make the real artist even more so in demand, because it takes a lifetime to become an artist. You have to go through pain. You have to go through misery. You have to press the envelope, and you have to stride for greatness. You know what I'm saying? And if they try to remove all pain from everybody's life, there will be no more artists. What are your thoughts on that, James?
Well, what I'm fearful of, I don't think I'll see it, because like I said, I'm 45 years old now. I'll probably like tap out in my 60s or 70s, the life that I've lived. But you know what I mean? It's like, what I worry about is the erosion of culture, the erosion of country, the erosion of individualism. I feel like our country in America are pushing for a world without borders. They're pushing for a world without flags, without national identity, without national anthems, without a national food, the food and the culture, the countries that have the religions. I think they're going for like this just generic one country, no continents, no borders. You can hop, skip, and a jump everywhere. And like you said, with like brutalist culture, like with architecture, I think it's going to look like something from the Soviet Union. You know what I mean? It's just going to be grey and oppressive, and all the colour and all the flavour and all the individuality of nations and people are going to just erode and go away. I think that's what we're going for, like a land without borders.
Yeah. Now we're coming up on the top of the second hour, so we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon. But I have a little bit of a story to share, and I'll get your take on this, James. So in the Bible, of course, everybody knows the story of Joseph. If you don't know the story of Joseph, he was an Israelite that was sold into slavery by his 11 brothers, okay? And he got sold into slavery to Egypt, right? So then he goes to Egypt. He has some dreams. God talks to him, so he shares these dreams with the Pharaoh of Egypt, who was having these dreams, and he couldn't perceive what the meaning of the dreams were. So Joseph comes out, he tells the story of the dreams, cracks the code, and so the Pharaoh's all excited about him. So he climbs, he's a level hopper. Is that what you call it? An up hopper, James? He's
like an up jumper.
Yeah, he's an up jumper. That's what it is. He's an up jumper. So he climbs to like number 2 or number 3, and then he has the Pharaoh has another dream about basically how there's going to be 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. Okay, so Joseph gets in charge of this, the land, and he starts to collect taxes from the people. Okay, and he takes the taxes in the form of grain, and he puts them in these huge grain silos, and for 7 years, and then the people go into after that into famine for 7 years, and so the people come begging to him. And then they sell everything they have to Joseph and the Pharaoh in order to get some of that grain. And then they run out of things to sell, so they sell themselves into slavery to Joseph and the Pharaoh to get that grain. And so I believe that's what's going to happen. That's what's coming up. Joseph is praised in the Bible as a good story, but how good of a story is it when he took the taxes from the people, used their own taxes to buy them into slavery instead of just giving it back to them? That's about one of the worst stories I've ever heard in my life.
He's a villain, isn't he?
He's a villain.
He's an absolute villain.
He's a villain. And I believe that that's what they want to have happen. They want to have this AI roll out. They want to have the AI destroy our means of production. And then they want to turn around and they want to purchase us into slavery in order to give us back our means of production. I think that's what is going to happen in the long run. James, where can people find you? What are your closing thoughts on everything?
Yeah, it was a good talk, wasn't it? It was a quick 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a fast 2 hours.
I'm pretty chuffed with myself. 2 things.
All right.
Hand-eye coordination. I only dropped it a couple of times.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Cricket. Yeah.
And I've got to go and find the other one. It's probably cracked a bit and landed on a weight, but like, I don't know. It's like I'm going to be wearing beanies from now on. This don't work. But no, it was a good chat, man. And I agree with you. Like, if we want to go back like around the houses with Ralph, like I was saying, it's the hope that kills.
Yeah.
They want you at your lowest ebb because it's the hope that sustains you. But when there's nothing left and you've given everything away, and then you sold yourself into like, what else have you got?
Yeah.
You're just a cog in the machine, ain't you? You're a cog in the wheel. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's how they want you. They want you at your lowest ebb.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a crazy old world, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's moving at a pace. Every week you think there's going to be nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
And then there's always something because it's moving at such a pace.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a good way.
No. Everybody go follow James at James Domenico Grabbin on YouTube and James Domenico Grabbin on X. And one thing that I'll leave you with is somebody very smart said this, and they said, the meaning of enlightenment is the ability to face infinity without flinching. And so I wish to all of you to face infinity without flinching, to reach enlightenment. Don't fall for the trap, but to last beyond it so that you can keep your own sanity and reap the reward that you deserve. So with that, we're out here. Knuckles to all you guys. Knuckles to James. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Wishing CK and his family some solace with the stabbing of their cousin in Costa Rica. And everybody else, get out there and have a fucking great rest of your day, all right? Get after it.